Hey up guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Jimmy, and today we're going to be looking at the Necron showcase for the tournament that I'm going to. So I'll bring my army on now. So what I have in this army is 2 detachments, which is a battalion detachment and an outrider detachment. In my battalion detachment I have dynastic heirlooms giving me 1 extra artifact. The dynasty choice I'm going for is Mefrit, and my 2 HQs for this are a Cryptek and the Veil of Darkness with a Chronometron with a Staff of Light. My Overlord, who has a War Scythe, which I've upgraded for another artifact to the Void Reaper. I've got 4 troops options. I have my Immortals with Tesla Carbine, my Immortals with Ghost Blasters, and 2 units of 17 Warriors. Next, I've got 2 Doomsday Arcs. And then making up the Outrider detachment, I've gone for a Cryptek with a Canoptic Cloak and a Staff of Light, 3 Canoptic Scarab Swarms, 4 Destroyers with a Heavy Destroyer, and 6 Tomb Blades. And in the Tomb Blades, they're all identical with the Nublar Scope, Shield Vanes, and 2 Ghost Blasters, apart from one of them, which is the one right at the back in the middle, which has a Particle Caster. Like, I'm aware that they are, well, the back 3 are modelled with the particle beamers, not particle caster, sorry, particle beamers. And the reason for that was 7th edition, when we had the small blast templates. They were very good at getting forward, hitting 3 small blast templates on a big blob of hordes or whatever, big blob of guys or people in buildings, and there was more chance of getting more hits. Now in the new edition, that I think they're Assault 3 or maybe Heavy 3. They are Assault 3, Strength 6, AP dash, and 1 damage each. Which in this edition, the Assault 3 is okay. The Strength 6 is really good, but the fact that they don't have a minus is kind of a bit of a letdown. And the fact that it's only 1 damage as well is a bit of a letdown. If there were damage 2 maybe, then, you know, I might be willing to take that option. Shield Vanes as well, give them that 3-up save, you know, with all the AP weaponry now that's going around. It's very good. And the Nebula Scopes for ignoring cover, especially with me being Mefrit, especially with the Ghost Blasters, this one's mainly for, so not necessarily the one with the Particle Beamer. The ones for the Ghost Blasters, it's already a -2. And if I'm ignoring your cover, then it's ignoring cover with a -2. If I'm within 12 inches and I'm rapid firing, then it's a -3 because of the Mefrit Dynasty, which is unbelievable. So that's one reason why I've gone for that loadout and not the, I believe it's the Shadow Looms or something along those lines, which gives me a 5-up invuln, although I did toy with that idea. Now, some will be saying, well, why have I taken 10 Immortals with Ghost Blasters? Tesla is the meta to go for in this edition. And yeah, I would prefer them to be Tesla, but unfortunately they're modelled as Ghost Blasters, because again, this was the beginning of a 7th edition army that I put down, and then my reasons for bringing it back I'll explain a bit later on. But then, since then, I've been able to get more Teslas, but been able to get more Immortals and build them as Teslas. So originally for my Overlord, I did have him with his Sempiternal Weave, which I believe increased his invuln by 1. I believe it was, I think it's every save. So the Sempiternal Weave was increases toughness and wound characteristics by 1. So I'm probably thinking of the Night Shroud. Yeah, I thought, like, you know, toughness 6 character with 6 wounds as well would be quite beasty. But then, having a look at the Void Reaper a bit later on, I believe it wounds automatic. Well, no, it doesn't wound automatically. Always wounds on a 2+, unless that target is a vehicle. Then it's just like a War Scythe or a Void Scythe, and it's Strength 7. Against most vehicles, it's going to do the damage. He's going to be wounded on 4s against most of them, 5s if I'm up against a Lehman Russ or something. But my plan is not to get these Necrons into combat. My plan is to almost sit back and shoot, but at the same time slowly move up in a big blob towards the objectives. So I've got 2 Crypteks in this list. They're there to get my guys up on 4+. I aimed for a very resilient army for the tournament setting that I'm going to, which I'll get onto a bit later on. But the first one has the Veil of Darkness. Now my plan is to wait till about turn 3, some cases maybe turn 4, and then take the biggest unit that I've got, either Immortals or Warriors. Again, like I said, I'm going to move up in a blob, so my 17 Warriors out at the front, my Immortals at the back, or maybe vice versa to begin with. Move my guys up with my HQs in the middle so that I'm buffering everybody, because this Cryptek has the Chronometron, which any unit within 6 inches of him, I believe, sorry, every unit within 3 inches of him gets a 5-up invuln. So what I'm planning on doing is, having sort of the characters in the middle, snaking 1 or 2 guys within 3 inches of the Cryptek, giving everybody then the nice big 5-up invuln. Luckily it doesn't say wholly within, it literally just says within, so again I will use that as to my advantage of giving all my warriors a 5-up invuln at the very least, and Immortals as well. The second Cryptek has the Canoptic Cloak. His job is just to keep up with the Tomb Blades / or heavy destroyers. I believe I'll mainly keep him in the destroyers, seeing that they have a similar movement speed, and getting destroyers up on a 4+ is just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, that's my 2 Crypteks. So the tournament I'm going to is at Warhammer World. It is Throne of Skulls with the Maelstrom of War missions. So it's quite interesting to see that come into a Warhammer tournament, to be fair. Usually they use the Eternal War missions. So I wanted an army that was resilient. I wanted to use my Necrons because they've got the ability to get back up. Especially now, seeing that the sudden death rules no longer apply. I thought that'd be even better, so I'm able to sort of kill my opponent or wear my opponent down, and then by the end of the battle I've still got like at least half my army to be able to move up the board. Then that way I can advance and not have to worry about shooting so much. So yeah, I thought to myself, screw it, I will take my Necrons. I've mentioned a few of my tactics that I'm planning on doing: moving up in blobs, throwing my quick units up fast, try and jump on them objectives. But again, it all depends on what the cards I draw, with them being Maelstrom of War. So I've tested this list out a few times. So far it's like a 50% win rate with it. I think I've had 4 or 6 games and I've won 2 to 3 of them, and then lost 2 to 3 of them because of the cards that I've drawn. Some of them just been almost impossible to achieve. This weekend is really going to be about luck. I think I will bring a resilient army to this tournament, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge. I don't know, it's probably going to be my 6th or 7th tournament event. Usually I finish middle of the pack, so that's the same that I'm going to aim for this one. I'm going to go for at least 2 or 3 wins this weekend, hopefully. I will be bringing a tournament report of how it went, so hope you like and subscribe so that you can check it out later. So that's going to do. If you've watched the entire video, hit 89 in the comments. You know why, if you've watched my previous videos. And yeah, look out for the tournament report. So thank you and goodbye.